Well, Gaultier GAA is the third club to feature in our Pride of the Parish series. There were traffic jams on the way into the pitch yesterday evening, with the under 6s, under 7s, under 8s, under 9s, under 10s and under 11s all in action. And when I finally found a parking space, I spoke to Chairman Richard Finnegan and Secretary Robin Croke. But first of all, let's hear from some of the Gaultier stars of the future.
Michael Maloney.
And how old are you, Michael?
11.
And how long have you been playing here in Gaultier?
About 6 years, I'd say. Yeah, about 6 years.
What position do you play for Gaultier?
Full forward, normally sometimes centre forward.
And what's it like being back with your friends here this evening?
It's great, like you get to know the lads a bit more, and we should be training a bit more often now from now on.
And who's your favourite GA player at the moment?
I have to say between TJ Reid or Cillian O'Connor. Cillian O'Connor, they're both great players.
Well, what's so good about Cillian O'Connor?
Sure, he's a great player because he scores goals. Like he nearly scored 4 goals against Tipperary. Scored 11. I think he scored about 9 points as well. Sure, he scores goals and points for fun.
Eric.
And how old are you, Eric?
11.
And how long are you playing here in Gaultier?
3 years.
And what's the most enjoyable part about playing for Gaultier?
Probably have to get to play loads of matches and win.
Who's your favourite GA player at the moment, Eric?
Probably Desi Hutchinson. He's just a good player.
Yeah. Whereabouts on the field do you play at the moment?
In midfield.
What's it like being back out on the field here in Gaultier this evening?
It's good because we're inside all the time, so it's good to be back out training.
So I'm here in probably the busiest club grounds in the county, Gaultier GA Club. I'm here with Chairman Richard Finnegan and Secretary Robin Croke. Robin, can you describe the scene out here tonight in Gaultier?
It's fantastic, Tomas. It's as you said yourself, it's organised chaos. There's hundreds of kids here from under 6s all the way up to under 11s, and it's brilliant to see so many here, and especially the new ones. All the lads registering, they're completing their online health questionnaires and giving a bit of help with the furren.ie, but it's brilliant to see it, yeah.
Just tell us what teams are out in the field here tonight, Robin.
We have 6s, we have 5 and 6 year olds, so that's the under 6 group. We have the under 7s, the under 8s, the under 9s, under 10s, and then the under 11s are after taking over the main pitch.
Yeah, great to see juvenile players getting the green light on Monday to return to the field. Robin, how many new members do you have sign up to Gaultier here tonight?
There was 25 new under 6s, and we're after picking up at least 3 or 4 in each of the age grades. I suppose everyone was wondering, with the big gap and the gap and the problems, obviously, that the kids couldn't get out and play, where are the kids going to maybe, turn away from sport? But it's actually been the opposite this week in Gaultier. The camogie numbers were very big on Monday night. The ladies' football were through the roof on Tuesday with their juvenile night, and tonight is fabulous to see the large numbers here as well. Yeah.
Richard Finnegan, Chairman of Gaultier GA, can you talk to me about how the club have assisted the local community over the past 12 months since COVID-19 hit?
Yeah, Thomas, we had a couple of initiatives there over the last 12 months. We would have been involved in the Waterford Council, I suppose, County on Call, so we would have had a number of volunteers in the club that would have helped with, helping getting groceries to isolated or people in that didn't have transport or that were dependent on public transport when it stopped. So we would have had maybe 4 or 5 months of that, kind of regular weekly kind of customers that were getting their groceries delivered or medicines delivered to them. So we did our mural as well only last week, I suppose. Look, a number of members of the club and relations of members of the club probably would have passed on in the last 12 months, and I suppose like most rural parts of the world, I suppose kind of funerals, particularly in Dunmore Easter, are a big thing, right? They celebrate people passing on and celebrate their lives, but unfortunately we weren't able to do it this year, so we got our local artist Declan Pearce, member of the club as well, to do a mural, I suppose, just to remember those that passed on, and I suppose it was just it's nice to have it on the gable end of the wall as well. It's quite poignant. So
yeah, it's a very striking image, Richard, as you drive into the club. Can you describe what it looks like for our listeners?
Yeah, so I suppose it's just an elderly pair of hands passing a football onto a younger pair of hands. I suppose it's just it was the Irish Hospice Foundation were very good at us in terms of helping us hire the artist, and I suppose that's where the idea came from. I suppose elder generation passing on to the younger generation, etc. So it's just that's the background behind it.
And Richard, how big a part did social media play over the past 12 months during the pandemic?
Yeah, Tomas, look, I suppose there was plenty of bad news on social media and in the national media, I suppose, over the last 12 months. I suppose our PRO in particular, Sheikh Evans, would have put a lot of effort and stock into, I suppose, putting out good notes every week, past player profiles, old match reports. We'd match reports from the 50s and 60s and team profiles and all this kind of good news, and people would look forward to the notes every week, and we would have seen substantial interaction, I suppose, on our social media channels from it. And look, it was just positive news, I suppose, to keep people engaged positively during the pandemic in terms of keeping the club in the spotlight.
Is this the week you've been all waiting for, Richard, in the club since the year started, I suppose?
Sure, you will be, Tomas. Yeah, you will be. You'll be looking forward to it every year. But sure, look, you'll be very anxious as well. There's lots coming out. There's cars everywhere. It's as Rob said, it's organised chaos, right? And you're just looking forward to when training starts, and things will just fall into place after that. But I suppose the last couple of days there's been a lot of, the ladies were back last night, the Camogie were back on Tuesday, so there's a lot of preparation goes into it. As Rob said, getting everyone registered, new members coming along, new kids to Gaelic football that didn't know anything about the GAA, or kind of, it's different for people that have played and their sons or daughters are playing now, or when you've new families coming into it, you're kind of trying to just tell them, look, this is the process, you register here, etc., and this is our training schedule, etc. So you'll be a bit worried about things coming up, but once things start, you're kind of okay about it,
Yeah, I suppose when you look out at the fields here, there's balls and cones and goalposts everywhere. The enthusiasm seems to be as great as ever, Richard.
Yeah, that's right. A couple of the kids were running out onto the pitch. They were like bullocks going into the paddocks for the first time in spring, but I think some of the coaches ran faster past them. I think everyone was looking forward to getting back out to us,
The coaches are more looking forward than the kids. The coaches are definitely looking forward to getting out of the house and getting the fresh air and getting involved, kicking the football and telling the lads how to do it. But it's brilliant. It's brilliant to see, and the enthusiasm from the coaches the last couple of weeks. Once we got that date, it's been all systems go, and everyone has put their shoulder to the wheel. So, like the first night we're back, it is. There's a few teething problems. We'll have to get everyone to get used to the facilities and the one-way system and everything else. But it'll all come together. It'll be great to see the matches as well start, I suppose, in a few weeks.
Can you tell us about the coaches involved as well, Robin? Because there's a lot of people here that are giving back to the club that would have played in the past.
Oh yeah, well, the majority of the lads, of course, would have played with the club at some levels. And when you go down through the list, then you remember all the games you played with the boys, or the matches you would have watched with the other lads who were maybe that little bit older than you. But there's a lot of people who never played with the club, who they put their shoulder to the wheel. They get involved in the club in a coaching capacity, and it's brilliant to see people that that never did play, but they're making a huge contribution to the club from a coaching perspective.
A lot of new members signed up tonight, Robin, as you mentioned, but I'm sure you're always open for new members. How can people sign up if they're listening to this piece this evening?
We have a lot of information, I suppose, on our social media pages, Tomas. Our Gaultier at Gaultier GAA Club on Facebook and Twitter. We try and put as much good news and as much information for people who are not maybe au fait with the ins and outs of the club. But go on to our social media outlets. There's lots of information there about how to log on, how to register, what night's training is on. So you might miss the first night. Come up next Thursday. There's no problem at all. Our training schedules for all our teams are up on our Facebook pages, up on our Twitter pages. So it's open. We're open for business, Tomas, and we're hoping that a lot of people will support us and come along and get involved. Yeah.
Back to yourself, Richard. What ambitions would you have now for Gaultier GAA Club for the season ahead?
Sure, Tomas, look, you'd like to see everyone enjoy themselves anyway. The last 18 months we had, we did an initiative 2 years ago. We had our over 35s. We'd like to do that this year. That's definitely something we'd like to do. Look, we'll just keep trying, enjoying ourselves every Thursday when the kids are here and all the teams. We, as Rob said earlier in the piece, we made a conscious effort this year to enter as many teams as we could, so as many kids will get as much game time as possible. In some grades we've 3 teams, thankfully. Now there won't be too many subs, but look, we'll make it our best effort to get as much game time to as many people as possible. We'll have 2 minor teams in the club. We'll have 3 adult teams in the club this year. Look, we'll probably be to the pin of our collar numbers wise, but we think it's the right thing to do and it's the right way to go to get as much game time. And look, at the adult end, you'd love to see an all-county league or something going there in the summer while the county team is going, to keep if conditions allow, obviously, but to keep the lads ticking over until the county players come back to the clubs and keep the thing rolling on again, because I suppose lads are cooped up long enough and we're all zoomed out of it. I think at this stage, I think people are just looking forward to getting back on the pitch and playing a bit, so looking forward to the year, and look, if we could build on last year in any capacity, to be great, but getting back and enjoying ourselves is the first priority for the club, to be honest.
And at senior level, Richard, would you like another crack off the Conway Cup after reaching the semi-finals last time around?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Look, in the semi-final last year against Rathcormac, there was no doubting who the better team was, and I would certainly be of the opinion if there was a Munster Club Championship last year, Rathcormac would have had a serious say in it.
Going the county final first.
Well, that's absolutely. No. Just the form they were in against us that particular day, I think they'd have beaten anyone the following week. They obviously have a county final to play for yet, but yeah, you would, Tomas. Look, you'd like to try and get to a final. We haven't been in a final since 1996, so I mean that's a long time. We've been building a couple of years now. Our teams have won minors, they've won under 21s now. Like anyone, and the senior football is very, very competitive, as you know yourself. You saw last year, Brickies on Ryan, anyone could beat anyone on any given day in the senior football. So look, we'd like to think we've as good a chance as anyone starting out this year. Kilrossenty came the width of a post and win it a couple of years ago, so why can't it be us? That'll be our mentality anyway.
Well, Richard Finnegan and Robin Croke from Gaultier GAA, thanks for your time today, and all the best now for the year ahead.
Thanks, Tomas.
Cheers,
You're always welcome.
Thank you.